everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. So I am here with Tuesday 10 today. In case you're unfamiliar, you can check the description box, but basically this is where I pull 10 things out of my basket of hoarded papers and things, and we keep going until we use it all up, making ephemera. So what I have today is, I guess, a partially used digital. I don't know who this is from, but I have it. This is a children's book page that I thought was pretty cool. I don't know what book this is from. I think I pulled it out of a book in a recycle bin, to be honest. And this is like a page from a nature book. This is a digital from Shabby Dabby Doodah that I've had hanging around. And this is from a nature book, A Key to All British Butterflies. And then some fun different kinds of mammals. This is a digital of like some William Morris, I think. This is a black duotang. This is a jelly print of my maple seeds. And this is a collage board that I made. So, where to begin? Let's just jump into it. Where is that children's book page? I feel like these kind of go together, and I want to just maybe add this lovely gal here on this page. And I may have to go get my scissors because I think I took them. I'll use my little ones, I guess. I took my scissors in the car today because I was driving to pick up my, oh, there's a pair. There's no shortage of scissors in this house. I was driving to pick up my daughter from her zoo camp that she went to last night, and I thought, well, I wasn't driving, my husband was, and I thought I would do a little fussy cutting while she was driving. So I just want to cut out this lovely image. I don't think I need the wolf and the baby for now. I think that'll be fine. Then, use it as a focal point. I might make this a little smaller, but that would be really pretty. Alright, let's glue it down, and then I might make like a tag or something out of it. I have to probably trim it down a little bit. Yeah, my daughter had a lot of fun last night. She went to her zoo camp. It's the Serengeti Bush Camp at the Toronto Metro Zoo. And she goes with her scouts group. And it looks like they had a great time. I think they stayed up a little bit late because I've got a sleepy gal on my hands today, I think. And that's okay. Thinking right there. Yeah. Back that. And then I'll need focal points for the rest of this. But I'll figure that out when I get to it, maybe. Now this duotang, what I'd like to do is use the black paper for something and the clear paper, or plastic rather, for something else. Just pull that apart. Use this for something, I'm sure. Let's see. What does it look like when you open this piece? Could be good for collage. We'll just tear this into like 3 pieces that I'll set aside, because I might do something with those, and then we'll have this. I feel like I'm going to need probably some different focal points, and I'm not sure what else yet. Let's just maybe get an easier start on this with the butterflies, because this, I think I know what I want to do. And it's just a simple technique here. Nothing too complicated. Just make a couple of pockets. What else would just be nice is a large journal card. Yeah, I may do that. So I'm doing some planning for some more artist sample journals. I've been kind of making some samples in the background because I have lots of folks interested in those, which is nice because I do enjoy making them. So in the event that you are interested in one of those, just let me know, because I'm preparing materials now and it would be good to know if you're interested. I know I have 2 folks who are interested, so I will be puttering along with that in the background here. I'm kind of working, like, my goal right now, I think, is I just want to make some random journals while I'm working on bigger projects in the background, because it kind of keeps things fresh for me to have like a small project. It helps me to see kind of like the light at the end of the tunnel with projects in general when I have a bunch of big projects on the horizon. So you probably know I have the retro journals that I've got in the background and these art journals, but next book I'm going to be working on is this one, The Beautiful Tree of Life. And I'm going to give it a bit of a tree theme because you have to. I think it requires it. It's a gorgeous book, though. It's got this really pretty image inside. It's kind of a religious image, but I also just think it's really beautiful. It was like a religious kind of book, but it's from, what's it from? Let's see, 1892. So what a precious book that is. Okay, let's get back to it. So yeah, I'm going to have a few projects on the go for a while. I need to put, I think, some words on here. Through the moonlight. Oh, actually, no, let's use this. This is a really cool poem called Shake Down the Stars, Pull Down the Clouds, Turn Out the Moon, Do It Soon. I can't enjoy this night without you, shake down the stars. Dry up the streams, stop all my dreams, cut off the breeze, do it please. I never thought I'd cry about you, shake down the stars. Crush every rose, hush every prayer, break every vow, do it now. I know I cannot live without you, shake down the stars. So that's kind of cool. I don't know if I can. The best place to put that. I don't want to lose all this iridescent texture paste I have right here. I want to keep some of that visible. So there we go. All right. So that'll need to get backed, and we're going to cut it down just a touch more. I think I may also round the corners, but I'll wait until maybe I'll back it now. Yeah, so it's been kind of an uneventful weekend. I've been working on preparing wool for yarns for my Stitch Along Club on my Patreon. I'm enjoying so far. Thank you to those of you who have joined along on some of my Patreon stuff that's going on. I'm pretty excited for these clubs. I've got everything done for the month of July. It's not too late to join in if you're interested in joining in the club. You can check out my Patreon link down below if that's something that you might be interested in. I'm having a monthly themed journal and ephemera club. And for the yarny people of you out there, I'm having a stitch along club, and you can get a yarn and a handmade notion. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, because I put the packages together and I was like, yee, these are great. So yeah, I think they're going to be fun. All right, let's now maybe cut up some of these critters that I have. I want to use, I think, I'm gluing paper to them. Okay, let's see which of these guys. So I really love this porcupine. I think I want to use him. Then, yeah, I'll go with maybe, I wish I didn't cut into him, but I had to because the porcupine. Yeah, this guy or this guy? Maybe this guy. Actually, no, I'll go with this guy. Is that a capybara? Yes. Capybaras are one of the most serene, lovely animals. Oh my goodness. I love them. I was watching these videos for years now. I don't know, they're kind of all over the place. There's like a capybara sanctuary in Japan. I'm sure if you Google that you'll find the videos, but they're literally like, they have no predators, and like they're just these really nice animals that just get along with like all other wildlife, and yeah, they're really nice. Also, like, they know how to live their best life. When you see them, they always look so relaxed and happy. And they're just like a giant rodent, and they're really cute. Alright. So now we've got them cut out. I gotta figure out how I want to use them. Maybe with the William Morris, like, they'd be really cute on these, like with some texture behind them and stuff. We could collage a bit with them. Yeah. So I was talking to my husband this morning about the business of art, and I was watching a video the other day where somebody was feeling very discouraged because they had recently listed a couple of journals on their Etsy shop, and they haven't sold, and they were, you know, kind of lamenting about it's taking away their inspiration to make. So I think because I come from, like, having done art for a long time as a business, part-time, I've never put myself out there in a way where my art was 100% responsible for my income, because I'm not someone who's like flexible or comfortable enough to do that. Like, I know me, I'm not a risk taker when it comes to those kind of things. I've been offered like contracts before to, you know, do jobs in my industry of my day job that would pay me very, very well, but they're always a contract, and I'm just not a risk taker. And I think I've always been that way because I've never had a soft place to land financially. Like, I've never had someone else be responsible for my livelihood. I don't have familial wealth or inheritance. I don't have any of that. So I don't have the same ability to like take risks that other people might. So I was thinking a lot about, you know, what this person had said and how they were feeling discouraged, because I was trying to think of the right words to try to like make them feel better. And I think what it is that you should think about how your time is spent. And you know, when you think about life in general, how it's quite, you know, it's finite, right? We're here for so long. So I would say that even if things aren't selling right now, They probably will eventually. But if they don't, or they do, either way, I think the important question to ask yourself is, am I enjoying the process of making the art? Because if you're not, I can tell you, journal making, it's pretty time consuming. It takes a lot of time to make a journal. Upwards of, I would say, on average, I'm going to say a minimum of 12 hours. Probably much more, to be honest. And so if you're not enjoying it, or if you're only enjoying it because of the prospect of selling the journal afterward, you may want to consider if the sacrifice is worth it. Because I don't know about you, but like I think about when I'm doing art, I'm really enjoying it. But I also, especially in the summertime, I'm thinking about things like what else I could be doing. I could be outside, I could be doing something with the kids. And I have this like balance that I have in my life of things, because I have a lot of things to do. So I do have a bit of a system that I try to like balance everything out, make sure I'm spending enough time with my family, make sure I'm devoting the hours needed to my day job, and that I'm getting exercise, which is one that has suffered for a while that I'm trying to fix, because I think that's the one that, I don't know, some people enjoy exercise. I feel like I don't necessarily enjoy it. I want to enjoy it, and maybe I will someday, but for the moment, I don't really. And I think it has something to do with my attention span and getting bored and feeling like there's something more fun to do, like art. So clearly for me, I know what I like doing, but sometimes I wonder, you know, at the end of our life, how we think about, you know, what would we have done differently, or what did we not do enough of, or what are the things that put perspective in our life, maybe when we have someone who's you know, in their last stages of their life or what have you, and they're saying things or thinking things like what they wish they would have done more of or whatnot. You know, I'm sure a lot of it is like relating to spending time with your family, because that's the thing we get pressured to do the most, I'd say, right? Like I think a lot of it is in the religions and in the cultures of, you know, North America, at least, probably most of the world, that should be like your primary focus, especially for women. But I think I would argue that like you should try to think about how you can have balance, and then like not worry about, you know, am I spending too much time doing this or that? Because like the thing is, I think, you know, the time that you spend doing creative stuff, if you're not enjoying it, you need to maybe think about not doing it in the way that you are, because like it's eating up a lot of time. And if you're doing it as a business, you probably need to take a few extra steps to make sure that your business is sustainable. One of the best things that I ever did was something that I actually ended up aborting, and that was taking on a yarn store business. I've considered it twice in my life, actually, but both times after I wrote my business plan, it just didn't seem like something that was fully sustainable, even though in both cases somebody else was running the business. And you know, for me, I have to feel like I'm not just like meeting, I think, making ends meet. I want to feel like whatever I do is more than that, and that I'm actually turning a decent profit. So there's a lot to consider in business, but I would say, like, don't beat yourself up if, you know, you're making art and it's not selling immediately. Just take some time, make things, get better at it, you know, and make some considerations, like look online at different things, like how people price things, and how, you know, what do your quote-unquote competitors do. And I don't really believe in competition, especially in the art world, because I think there's room for all of us. There are some people, though, who blatantly just won't be very nice about things sometimes when it comes to like competition and the relationships that they build or don't build. But I think that like those people will pay a different kind of price, you know, for not being a community-oriented person, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. Never worry about competition, just focus on like what you're doing. Ferocious, wild. Trying to find a nice word snippet for this guy. Maybe into the woods. That might be kind of nice. And I think I will actually staple it. I can find my stapler. Here it is. I know I have one stapler that I need to fill. Of course it's this one. I have another. Hold on. I need to take some things out of my frequently used bin, because they're not actually frequently used. I probably don't need 2 staplers for starters. Okay. I might take this label and use it. Yeah, I'm going to put that there. There we go. That'll be a pocket. Okay. What is next? So yeah, I'll need focal points for those. This I probably need a focal point. What do I want to do with these tags? Let's get them all torn out. There we go. I think I'm just going to cut these now. And one thing I was thinking of doing with them is maybe making like an accordion fold tag booklet with these. The holes are where it might get complicated because they probably won't line up. Sometimes I find like when people add holes on ephemera, it kind of can be a little difficult for me, especially if the hole is like really big or in a shape of a punch that I don't have. Then I'm like, how do I get this hole to look good? And I end up putting like something like thread over it or something, or like fabric. Just gotta clean out the little hole in my, there we go, so I can actually see where I'm punching. Yeah, like this punch is ever so slightly smaller than the hole. Oh, they actually did line up pretty well. I may actually just keep this one simple because it's quite pretty on its own, but I'll probably just ink it. So I wanted to also say thank you to everyone who stopped by to support Tina at Shabby Dabby Doodah from my video, starting the love train for her. And I also want to say thank you to the other YouTubers who created a love train video for her. I saw that this morning she posted a little thank you, you know, to the community for the support. So that's nice. It's good to know that she feels like, you know, she's not alone and that people care about her. And yeah, I think if you can do nothing else when you're part of a community, it's to do, you know, that. Make everyone understand that, you know, they make an impact on you and that they're seen and heard and they feel important, you know, to their community. I think that's something we all like to feel. It's going to ink the edges of the back here. I just think it gives it a nicer look when I don't back things. Like, I used to feel really pressured to kind of back every single piece of paper in a journal, but you know, I kind of have like gone away from doing that as obsessively because first off, I think, you know, it really adds a lot of bulk to journals, and secondly, I think we need to be less scared of white paper. Like, white paper is where we all kind of got started, right? Like, that's how things begin, is with white paper. I say this as I'm, you know, inking more and more, but like, yeah, I like the backs white, and I love the look of writing in especially a red pen or a bright blue pen on white paper. So yeah, I like this just simple as is. It's just a cute little accordion type foldy thing that you can fold however you really want. And then I have 3 more of them. And I could make another accordion, or I could make them individuals. I think I might make another accordion, to be honest, because I like using things that have a little more writing space. So we'll just do that. Also, Priscilla at Release the Craftin' made me fall in love with this accordion style because of her trifecta type tags that she makes, where she has an image that goes across 3 tags, and I always just think that they look so nice. Speaking of which, Priscilla has just launched a Patreon, which is awesome. I'm thinking about what I want to do today. I think as I'm filming this, I usually film on Sunday for Tuesday 10, so it's the Sunday before that I do my filming. I'm thinking we'll just kind of have a cozy day because my daughter is tired, I think. She's had a long day, and also I think I might plan to go forage some mulberries because it's mulberry season. I have some trees of my own, but I have some favorite spots where I forage lots of mulberries so that we can have some for making some mulberry jam, and I might make mulberry ice cream. I love mulberries. They're one of my favorite wild forage things. And oddly, in my neighborhood, like, so for the longest time, the white mulberry trees, they were hit with a blight in like the 90s that made them very rare where I live. And I'm seeing a real resurgence of them. I think that the greenhouses have really brought them back, and a lot of people purchase them now and plant them because you can get several different varieties of mulberry tree. Like, there are the umbrella tree style ones, there's tall ones that you can actually train onto like an upright frame and they'll grow quite nice, or there's just massive, like you can just grow massive trees. So I have 3 of the ones that you can train upward on your fence line in my backyard. And I think I fell in love with mulberry trees because when I was a kid, my next door neighbor, Agnes, she was this lovely lady. She had a beautiful garden of like, amazing things. And she had a mulberry tree in her backyard that's still there. And it's an umbrella tree style one. And I just remember being too short most of the time to pick the berries, but I loved them. And so she would come out and pick them for me. And then when I got tall enough, I could finally reach them. And she was a very good neighbor. Mulberries are funny though. You've got to get out there and get them before the birds do, because birds love mulberries. It's like they're highly prized for birds. I think I want to use this bit of scrap here, and I want to back this in some packaging paper. So I get a piece torn. So maybe I'll start by just backing this, and I need to find a focal point. But yeah, I had a really nice walk this morning. So my 3-year-old son is really, ever since he turned like 2, maybe even a little bit beforehand, he loves to walk our little dog Toasty. It's like, it's the funniest thing because it looks like the world in miniature, because I have this little chihuahua named Toasty and my little boy, and he loved walking him probably from about, I'd say, 18 months or so, and he still is very much in love with that. And now we have a beagle, a larger beagle, and so my husband has to take the beagle out, our dog Rex, and Toasty goes out with my son. My son wants to go now all the time when they walk. So this morning we went for our walk, and I tagged along. I don't always go with them, but I sometimes do. And I was so glad I did, because we walked the neighborhood, and you know, my husband was telling me like I literally can't walk without talking to all the neighbors now. I feel like it's Leave It to Beaver, because my son is like, he says hello to everyone. He rushes up to them to show them his dog, and he's very talkative, and so it's pretty nice. It's actually pretty wholesome. So I went with them this morning, and it was quiet because it was early. I think most people were still either sleeping or, you know, getting ready for their whatever they do on Sunday. So we saw a little bumblebee. It was actually a big bumblebee. It was the kind that you hear them like they sound like a roaring engine. 1 second, I'm going to get focal points. Some animals and birds. And then, what do I have here? This is dolls. We don't want dolls. Art. Okay. So yeah, so we saw this bumblebee, and it was in one of the flowering linden trees, and it was just completely covered its legs in really thick pollen. It was nice to see the pollination happening. I'm listening to him buzz. I think it might be nice to use a bit of an art piece on here. Let's see. Could be black and white, but I think I'd rather go color. We'll see. Unless there's like a nice, like, well, that's actually really nice with, yeah, let's do that. So then we kept walking, and we saw this guy sitting outside, and he was just kind of enjoying the morning. And it was funny because I look over, and my husband said, "There's a squirrel above your head." And so right above, on the little front like trellis of his roof that goes over top of the doorway, there was this little squirrel sitting like right above his head. It was so funny. So he stood up and he walked out from the house a little bit and looked up, and he laughed because he saw the squirrel there. And then my son was really happy because we saw this beautiful little bunny. Well, it was actually quite a big bunny, really, by bunny standard. It was like more of a jackrabbit, and that was nice. I add those there and ink them. She could be holding these flowers. Yeah, that was nice. And then we actually went under a couple of mulberry umbrella trees and had some mulberries that we foraged from our neighbors' lawns as we were walking. Also, speaking of neighbors, I need to do the neighborly thing, and I need to refill my little free library. Lately, it's really emptied out. There's been a lot of people using it. I don't know, maybe because it's summer and people are reading more. I'm not sure, but I need to refill it. It's a book sale that I want to go to this week, so hopefully I can find some nice things. Put this under her hand a little. You know what we could do is we could just cut a little. I often do this with hands, is I cut like a little slit in the hand, and then I'll stick the flower there because it looks a little more natural to just have the hand, you know, grasping the flowers. I'm just going to ink. This is a sticker, so it's got that bright outline to it. I wish that the more stickers that, oh, that doesn't really ink that well, that they made, that they would like get rid of the white, because it's a lot. And I am not going to fussy cut because that would be too much time. But what I might do is when I stitch this, I think I might add a bit of threads. Not so many. I sometimes go a little kooky with how many threads I try to use in my endeavors to try to use up scrappy things. There we go. Yeah, I'll probably stitch that on there because I think that would look cool. Okay, so stitching pile, stitching pile, stitching pile. Put that up here. And then we shall carry on here. Think about what to do with this. It's so fun. Let's fold it. Okay. So I'm going to grab my little guillotine here. I saw another one of these at the thrift store when I was there the other day. I didn't pick it up though. I was like, you have one. You don't need a second one. Actually, should I? Yeah. Fold this up. This is my bone folder. There we go. That and then this. Oh, that's the wrong one. I need this one. Sorry if I shook you there for a sec. Okay. Cool, cool. What do we want to do with these? So, move these animals. I think I want to try to find something interesting to make like a folio with this. I mean, that would be really cool. Maybe. I like that a lot. So we'll glue here. Let's push that into the little gap there a bit. There we go. Give it a tug this way a bit. There we go. And we'll trim around. What else do I have? I'm thinking of making it kind of like a folio with writing space on the inside. I like these sort of artful black and white images of women. They're pretty cool. Could do that. I think I want to film a couple of tutorials this week. I have a couple fun ideas for things that I want to make. Okay. Here's my scraps of this right here. So I think on this side, yeah, oopsies. I'll pop that. Go in there. There we go. Is this the right size? I need to trim just a little. I need to cut the corner. It needs a little bit of a trim. I think what I might do also is round the top corners on this one. So it'll be more just like that. Then, I think I want it to be a little shorter. Punch. Yeah. Where did I put my pin? I have too much going on my desk. Too many things. Okay, let's just tidy ever so slightly here so we don't have 8 kajillion things everywhere. Okay, glues, ink. Rare pokey tool. Probably don't need pokey tool right now. Alright. There it is. Here we go. See if that unclogs the situation. Yep. think I'll do the same over here maybe. But I'm going to do maybe like a little tuck that way. Let's cut this with this. Straighten it out here. Okay. Oops, wrong one. That side and that side. Yeah. Oops. Gonna add a little label right there for some interest. Okay. And then on this side, I want like a little bit of a touch of yellow or orange or something. Wait a second. Just making a big mess here. All this ephemera. Okay. I like that one. I don't even need to keep digging. I just like that one. So yesterday when I was dropping my daughter off, we saw beautiful big silk moth. It was so pretty. It had like tints of brown and pink and just a beautiful big silk moth. And we saw a grasshopper nymph. Also was able to sort of observe and educate a little bit some of the kids, because you know, it's interesting how some kids learn to be curious about insects and others sort of learn to be scared of them. And I think a big part of that comes from us as their teachers, as the adults. So I had to stop someone from killing an insect a couple of times. I was like, no, 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 we don't kill them. And this is their turf, not ours. So it is what it is. I think that's a good reason to try to like always manage your own fears as best you can, because when little eyes are watching, you can accidentally kind of spread those things in ways that aren't the best. Like make it so that kids don't nurture things like it would be good if they did. And I know that some things like fears of insects and stuff, it's really hard for people to control how they feel. I get it. Like my mother-in-law is very terrified, I mean terrified of snakes. And it's a very triggering fear for her. And also, I think I was telling a story the other day here about like how I had to overcome my fear of centipedes to not kill them when I see them in my house because a friend of mine is an entomologist and he had a really big impact on me about, you know, it's a mean thing to do, and he was 100% right. They're totally beneficial insects, but I had to learn, you know, I guess I just had to be approached about like not doing the thing that, you know, I think a lot of us do when we react to this kind of thing. So I think I'll stitch around this. Like when I stitch it, I'll stitch here and then down. But I do want to put a little something here. This will be a pocket. Now I need writing space in here. Obviously this would be a tuck spot. This is a tuck spot, and then I need some writing space in there. So let me grab just look at my scraps of what I have here. I've got some file folder that I like the color of with this particular piece. The manila looks nice in there. I was going to say I must have another manila folder. This is the home of manila folders. So grab another piece of that. Maybe I'll use, because then I'll get the same size. I need to buy a new kneaded eraser, or maybe cut the edge off of this one with some scissors. Where are my... Here they are. Sometimes kneaded erasers, they just get a little too gummy on the edge. So I just kind of cut them to get rid of that. You can just kind of clip at the edges, see, like that, and it will remove all the gummy dirt. Because the thing is, kneaded erasers, they go from being really helpful with removing gunk to actually loading the gunk up so much that they just add it to your project and then you can't get rid of it. So I like to just trim it up a bit. You can probably clean these in some way, but I mean, they're very inexpensive. But yeah, I just want this to get, I had a little glue there and I just want to clean it up. There we go. And not transfer new gunk onto old gunk. Just want to click that corner. There we go. Alright, so there's writing space. And on the outside, this is a tuck spot that has a label. It's a tuck spot. Bit more glue right here. There we go. Okay, yeah, that's fun. I'm trying to decide if I want to stitch it or not. I don't think I really need to. It's quite nice on its own. You just ink the manila a little. You probably can't even see a difference in the camera, but I see it for sure. Okay, that's that. Moving on, this. So, first thing I think I want to do is have a little bit of ink. And I need my, where did my glue book go? There it is. My glue book. Ink here. There we go. I'll pop a little glue in here just because I do want that to be down. But I will probably stitch over it anyhow. And on back here, I want to add writing space. And I'll do that with the manila. Just do that one as more of a solid backing. So then we'll have like a tuck spot tag. Okay. Yeah, and that'll get stitched around. Now we need to move on to using this, perhaps, this sheet of plastic. So I think what I would like to do is find some cool art pieces that I have in this bag that would match what I'm looking to do. So this one maybe, that's a maybe, and I'll show you in a minute what I have in mind here. Oh, actually, is this big enough? This would be fun to use them. I forget their names right now, but I love them. So yeah, let's do this. Okay, take this and we'll see if I can make this work how I'm planning it to. Okay. Okay, so first step will be I want to maybe, no, I don't want to trim it down. I kind of want, do I want this to be like folded, like a piece of folded ephemera? With the plastic, probably not. So let's trim it down so that it's a more traditional and easy size for like putting in a journal. So we'll lose a little bit of the side here, but that's it. That's fine. Do that. Now, back it first. I'm going to use manila folder to back it. Okay, cut this out. Smooth this down. Now take glue stick. We're going to cover the whole front. This is clear glue stick, so don't worry. Nothing bad will happen. Now, where's my big dandelion? Get some big dandelion seeds. Try to find a few that are fully intact. I've been picking at this one and using it for days now, so we're starting to run out of intact ones. And we're going to lay this here. There's one. They don't all need their stems, but some of them I'd like to have their stems. I don't know if you can see this. I hope so. See if I can find another one with the stem still attached. There's one. Oops, not on her face, but right there's fine. Okay. Let me just pick up a few here. Let's have one go over his head. And then maybe another one down here. There's one. Okay. And maybe one more. Where do we need one? Here? Yeah. Okay. Then I might put a couple more that just have just the fluff, no stem. Just for some extra kind of texture. It's because they are really fun. Really, really fun. And they're just going to stick right to this glue, so it's great. So we've got these folks now in, whose name I forget. I forget the piece of art this is. This is a really fun piece. Now what I do is I take the acetate that I've got hanging around here, and it's also just going to stick down on the glue, as so. And then we have it all backed, so I will go and I will sew that. So I'll take a quick little stitch break. All right, so that's been stitched around, so you can see those are all trapped in there now, so that's pretty fun. Okay, let's move on. We're almost getting there. So now I have this jelly print of maple seeds in this beautiful greeny gold color. I'm just going to tear it out away from the excess background here. Yeah, probably good. Oops, I don't want to tear all the bottom off. I want to leave a little bit of height to it. Then I'm going to glue it down. So I'm not exactly sure what happened, but my camera at some point decided to go AWOL, and so I'm not sure what you saw. So I'll quickly explain, because I'll have to figure that out on the cutting room floor. So I took the jelly print, I cut it out. I had this scrap of leftover William Morris, made a pocket at the bottom to which I added this bird. So this is a pocket here, and it's backed. So that's done. Okay, now let's move on to the next. What I have left are these pieces of the collage board, and I've pulled a focal point from my bins for each one of them. So just kind of tidy up the edges here a little. These, okay, these all need backing, so let's just do it all together here. Packaging paper for this one. Book page for these two. Okay. So let's just quickly cut these out. I think the day is finally cooling down, so I might see if my family wants to go for a walk. Maybe go to the playground, which my son will be excited about. There we go. Now, get these all just to press. I'm going to stitch around all of them anyhow, so I'm not too worried if they're curly or the glue's not completely down. Not a big deal. So now the focal points I chose are these people. So I think what I'll do first maybe is this one on here. I like that on there, I think. So, oops, and I'll probably grab like a label or just another few little pieces of ephemera to kind of collage a bit on these. We already have a lot of collage in the background, so I'm not going to do a ton of collage. That's one nice thing about collage boards, is that they do kind of give you like a starting place to just be able to do a more simple top with a focal point. Okay, let's get all those extra bits off. And I've just been today using a lot of things from like a large art book that was like, you know, the Art of Masters kind of thing. Like, I find those to be really good for this type of thing, like for collage and all sorts of stuff, like focal point. I find a lot of good stuff in those kind of books. This is cute, but I think I'm going to cut this off and add it on here. Yeah. Oops, clogged again. It's because I keep leaving this bottle for long periods of time not being used. Come on, there you go. Okay. Yeah, so I have no clue what video I may or may not have lost, but don't worry, you know, if at the end, you know, I will show you everything we've made. And then if you have questions, if something does get missed, please feel free to ask me in the comments. I'll be happy to answer your questions. As always, no problem. I find that this camera, it's really weird. I would say, you know, it's good 9 out of 10 times, but that 10th time it kind of does this weird thing where it will just stop recording and not tell me, or it will suddenly turn off. And I think sometimes it has to do with the battery being low, but other times it's just very random. Like, I don't know. I film on a GoPro, but it is an older GoPro. I have had it for a few years because I'm a big believer in, you know, use things until they're not working anymore. And I really have no love for planned, like, technological demoting, which these days is just far too common. It's very frustrating. See if there's any kind of neat poetry here, but I don't think so. So I'm going to go back over to my little ephemera book that I keep on the back of my desk. If you ever wonder what is she digging for over here, it's that. It's my ephemera book. That could be nice there. Yeah, let's just do that, and then I'll stitch it on. My dog is whining. I don't know why. Oh, I think I do know why. So he just went out for a walk, and my son is having his lunch right now because he fell asleep during lunchtime. So my dog gets a little bit hyper after his walks, and he wants to play more. And so sometimes when you're trying to eat your lunch, because he's a beagle and they're driven by their noses, and he's just turned a year old, so he's still got some understandable imperfect kind of behaviors, so he can be a little annoying when you're trying to have your lunch and you're 3 years old. He's a bit of an opportunist. He's mostly a good boy. Like, he's getting there. He will get there. We've seen such incredible progress in him since we got him, because when we first got him, oh my gosh, I think for a while I was genuinely worried that it wasn't going to work out, because he was just, oh Lord. But I'm glad we held out. It was certainly worth it. He's a good boy. And it's that adorable beagle face that, you know, I will persevere. That's too big, I think. Yeah, too big. wish I had a knack of finding the perfect piece of ephemera super quick, but I don't. And I am relatively organized, I would say. I'm not as good as it could be, but not as bad as it could be either. I just kind of keep like these 3 ephemera books at the back of my desk, and I just sort of grab out of them. And I don't want to use that because those particular stickers don't take ink well. No, none of that. Possibly a label or 2. Yeah, I think that's going to add what I'm looking for. Okay, that'll do it. Just needs like a little more going on, you know, so it's not so plain. That's that one. Okay. All right, so I will go stitch these and we will look at everything. So today, believe it or not, we made 14 pieces. Hopefully most of it gets filmed, we'll see. So this, the fun accordion, I like these a lot. Simple but fun. And then the journal cards, I just stitched around them. I added some of this left over to the top of that one. And then this has a tuck spot there. It's like a journal tag. This is a folio, pocket here, writing space, tuck spot there. I quite like that. You could also tie something fun through these holes. A little pocket with our capybara, and a pocket with our porcupine, and that lovely little shake down the stars piece. And this from the Shabby Dabby Doodah background. I added some fabric to it here as well. And this butterflies card. And there is the dandelion seed art that I forget the name of this. It's called, is it American Gothic? I think. Yeah, American Gothic. And then this pocket here with writing space on back with the bird. So yeah, it was, I think, a good day. We got a lot done. So thank you for hanging out with me. I hope you are well. I will see you hopefully next Tuesday with more Tuesday 10. Bye for now.